work your ass off. Joe, I see you came on the call. Appreciate you coming on board. I love the message you sent me the other day of like, I'm just going to outwork these people, right? And that's the name of the game. Like, you don't have to be the smartest, prettiest. You don't have to be the ugliest. If you're ugly, you can still make money. I'm joking, obviously, but you still can make money, right? If you work harder than your competition, you will have deals regardless of market conditions. So we're going to get into today's presentation, how to help sellers sell their home faster as part of the Reverify strategy of what we will be always ongoing implementing into our ecosystem are going to be ways to help people succeed and have a better overall process. One thing that I've argued literally for 15 years now is I believe every time a home gets listed for sale, an appraisal should be done simultaneously with that on either the listing agent or the seller's dime. So they could say, hey, I'm listing the property for this, and I have an appraisal that says this. If you can match those two, you could justify asking the price of the home. But what often happens in markets like this, people have this number in mind that they want to ask. The buyers aren't obviously putting offers in at that ask price, which is why the home's not selling. And then no one kind of knows what the house is actually truly worth. So anybody that has their home on the market for 60 days plus, my recommendation is, whether you're a mortgage lender watching this, whether you're a seller, or whether you're a real estate agent, get a private appraisal done, okay? I'm going to show you what we're going to do in order to help people get that done on a quicker basis with the company I've been dealing with exclusively since 2008. So why don't homes sell? List price, number one. Condition, no real strategy on how you got to the list price. No real strategy on how you're going to offset the condition of the property. Poor marketing and bad timing. Obviously, timing is a variable that we can't control. Tomorrow might be good timing. Today might be bad timing, right? The weather, depending on where you're located. Like, I hope nobody lists a house in Florida right now for sale during a hurricane, like, because nobody's going to go look at it, right? So like little things like that from a strategy and a timing standpoint really impact why homes don't sell. Now, in any market, homes properly priced to real-time market conditions will still always sell almost immediately, right? Your home has to be priced in real time, in today's real time, right? Not in yesterday's real time, not in last month, not in last year, not 3 years ago. What do the comparables show based on today's comparable sales and interest rates? Those are the two factors that factor in. Now, what is the best way to combat an unrealistic overpriced seller? Well, in my opinion, it's to offer to pay for a private appraisal. You're paying for a private appraisal, which gives an opinion of value by a party that has no incentive to overprice or underprice a value. They're going and researching the data, which most of it is public information and accessible to your average person. And they're saying, based on the information and data we've analyzed, this house is worth X. Well, if you give that unbiased report to a seller, they're going to say, okay, well, I guess the numbers don't lie, right? Let's justify decreasing the price a little bit or dropping the list price so we have a better chance of selling the home if we really need to sell the home. Now, we're going to be introducing Nationwide Property and Appraisal Services. Again, believe it or not, they're the only appraisal company I've ever used in my entire career, literally since 2008. They recently sold out to a private equity group a couple of years ago, and I'm still equally as close with them. I literally send them 100% of all my business. I have as strong as a relationship with them and their upper management that anybody can have in this industry. I think it really says a lot about them that they've been able to maintain my high level of expectations of service providers for my entire career. Back, believe it or not, when I was younger, I was a big bulldog. I'm still a bulldog, but I'm a little bit more tame now. But with that being said, they are the elite of the elite, and they do deals really as best as they come. So we actually negotiated a deal with them where they gave us their updated pricing chart on appraisals. And I'll send everybody this, but you can go back and look at what your state is and obviously the cost of the appraisals, and these add-ons, obviously add-ons for acreage, waterfront valuations, over a certain price point. But if you join reverify.com, you automatically get a $50 discount on every private appraisal you order. And obviously Reverify is free, right? So you join reverify.com, you're able to, if you're a mortgage person, go and invite all your real estate agents to join. And then just when they join, they're able to get $50 off a private appraisal. Now, again, it's not a lot, but appraisal management companies don't really make a lot of money. but it still helps and shows a sign of good faith. And you know the quality of services there. They do about 20,000 appraisals a month across the country. Obviously, that's a pretty big number, right? They are licensed in all 50 states. Obviously, the majority of their relationships are, kind of all over the place, and we really do have a great, stronghold over the East Coast in particular. But again, they do provide services throughout the entire country. So if you're not on Reverify, join Reverify, and there's no limit to this. So you can literally go to 100 real estate agents or go to 100 sellers that you have, if you have listings, and order that private appraisal. Just say you're a part of Reverify, and Rachel, who is my main contact, who's also going to be everyone's contact from this, will be able to utilize these services as well. So all you have to do is email rsandora@nationwideamc.com, type in new private appraisal order, tell her you're part of Reverify. She's a part of Reverify. I actually just closed her personal loan last week. Really good friend of mine, really an amazing person. So she's here to help you. So make sure you utilize this contact. So again, loan officers, bring this strategy to your real estate agents and sellers for their open houses. All you have to do is go into your market, check days on market, and anything, 60 days is 100% overpriced, right? So 100% use this, as a business strategy tactic. Great way to to network with real estate agents in your market and bring value that no one else is bringing. Did you know that if you provide a potential buyer with an official certified appraisal at time of viewing the listing for sale, they are 100% more likely to buy it if they're serious? I actually stole this from the bottom of a Snapple cap, and I'm actually just kidding. I can't prove that statistic as there's not enough data to prove that statistic, but buyers love free things, right? And proving them the value of a home with a federal appraisal can and will justify the price as of today or a time frame relative. So again, just part of a strategy, part of an information session. If someone comes to look at a property for sale and you give them proof of a value, it's hard for them, to justify not paying that value, right? It also shakes out like who's real and who's fake. Not to say you can't accept a price less than the appraised value, but knowing a house will appraise is actually a really good sign for the market and for a seller and for a listing agent that doesn't want to waste their time. As the market continues to shift and rates remain at decade highs, sorry for the typo, creativity and how something is properly presented with facts will win. Whether you're doing mortgages or real estate or any type of business, you need to be creative, and you also need to properly present deals, opportunities with facts, because facts win. Facts can't be debated. Don't get down to a subjective option of, hey, I think this kitchen's great. No, this kitchen needs a new kitchen, right? Hey, this bathroom needs to be renovated. Not, I think this bathroom needs to be renovated. So going with the facts, lead with the facts, and I promise you that the facts will win long term. Real winners are made, I will leave everyone with this thought. Real winners are made in chaotic market downturns, and the trophy handouts are non-existent. So if you're looking for a trophy, your best bet is to get out of the market. If you're looking to win, I promise you, you stick it out and you learn, you'll be good to go. So now we're going to open everything up to our normal Q&A. Buckle up because the market's going to get a little bit dicey, but we're going to go ahead and answer any questions that anybody may have. Anybody want to start us off?
Jeff, I've done that. I've done the appraisal, and it's a very good tactic, the private appraisal.
Yeah, I think more people need to utilize it. Just being honest with you, I think.
Well, the problem is a lot of agents don't want to lay the money out, right?
That's 100% the problem. Right?
They might not get it back, but the chances of getting it back increase when you make that investment because no one can deny the facts.
Yeah, I mean, so if I was a listing agent, I would tell the seller, hey, we have, if you're confused, here's our information for our appraisal management company. Go ahead and order a private appraisal on your own. Like, we don't even need to be involved in it, and then see if they'll lay it out. You could offer to split it with them. Or again, if you got balls, for lack of better term, sorry, women, if you get offended by that terminology, if you got balls, lay out the cost and tell the seller, hey, if I'm right, reimburse me. Have them sign an agreement. Like, hey, I'm telling you it's worth 1.2 million. You say it's worth 1.5 million. Let's get an appraisal. If it comes back closer to my number, you reimburse me for it. If it comes back closer to your number, I'll lead it, and that we have nothing to talk about, right? But Joe, I think again, like if people utilize this strategy and use it as a value add, even at listing presentations, right? I would, if someone calls me a listed property, I'm a real estate agent, and I say, hey, here's what we're gonna do. The market's kind of all over the place right now. I'm gonna lay out the $450 to get a federal appraisal done, and then we'll review it, and then we'll set the list price based on what the appraisal comes back at. No one else is doing that. So like, why pay a referral fee when you can pay $450 for an appraisal? And then here's what's even better. I didn't want to put it in the PowerPoint. Nationwide deals with almost every lender in the marketplace, right? So let's say a buyer does come in. Now you refer that buyer to the mortgage lender that you deal with that's approved with Nationwide. They'll charge the buyer like $125 reinspection fee. So the buyer's only paying $125 for a $500 appraisal that they already have the data to. And now you're guaranteeing the value is going to be net.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
you know what? You use it as a way to build up your value, your commission also. Why do I charge X? Because I do this. You want a guy to charge you next to nothing? He's not doing any of this.
Correct.
It's just another way to build up your sale.
Yeah, it's a value add. You know, again, it's creative. It's thinking outside the box, and you're bringing facts to the table, right? Like they might not believe you, and you might not believe them. All right, well, believe the third party that doesn't have an invested interest that's just analyzing data. You know, that's what I think is just going to really separate listing agents in this marketplace right now. If a house is on the market for 60 days, Joe, you know, there's probably an issue with it.
100%. And it's always the price.
Completely. Does anybody else have any questions or any thoughts that you want to add to this? What do you guys think of the strategy? Anybody? Nobody? You guys all sleeping? Mark Lawrence, from your experience, Jason, I just saw you took yourself off mute. Go ahead, Jason.
You have to thoughts on the strategy. I think it sounds great.
Excellent. I like short and sweet at times, and that was short and sweet. Anybody else? No, we're all done for today. What are you guys all stressed out? You just have more deals than you know what to do with. Mark Lawrence, I look forward to seeing you tonight.
Yep. Felix Mutual. You're saying with my experience, that makes me old. But other than that,
I was gonna say, with your experience coming from the title end, right? What have you seen typically in downturns on markets with, you know, title being ordered? You know, again, my personal opinion, just so I put this out there for everybody, and you obviously know this in the back end, obviously based on our relationship. You know, I believe when a listing is taken, appraisal and title should be ordered immediately. That way people know what they're working with, and that way there's no holdups in the process. Now, again, I know there's like a financial cost there for that, but assuming a seller is realistic, my belief is when a buyer comes to view a property, an appraisal and title being handed to them, showing them the due diligence has already been done, just shows seriousness, right? And you know me, if I had it my way, every time a listing got taken, that would be the process. What's your experience in a downturn, what you see more so on the title end?
yeah, you bring up actually a good point because obviously, well, to separate that between residential and commercial, oftentimes in commercial, people will, you know, order title prior to, you know, even accepted offer as part of their due diligence package. Also, in addition, you know, on commercial transactions, a lot of attorneys will also order title prior to a signed contract just so that they can negotiate, you know, any of those potential title issues prior to going to contract. You don't see it as much in residential, primarily because, you know, the cost, as you mentioned, you know, you know, to order a title report, you know, the search charges are about, you know, $450, say, plus tax, about $500, which, you know, is a lot to take out of your pocket. And maybe you can put some of that, you know, well, you're not going to be able to ask the seller. We're all competing for listings. Let's be realistic here. You know, but it's not a bad idea in residential. Certainly we could do, you know, and in commercial, why it's really good is because shockingly on commercial transactions, people either lie amazingly, or people don't, they don't disclose information, they omit information. So in order to have full information, it's good to have title beforehand. You know, residential, again, normally titles are ordered traditionally after contracts are signed. But you can, we could do some soft kind of investigation, make sure that, the person you're signing the listing agreement with has the authority to sign that agreement with you. I've seen that issue come up, and I've been a real estate agent. I've been an attorney, in prior times in my life. I mean, I've seen people, especially like estate issues where, really only, if you probated the estate and there's a, an executor or executrix or administrator of the estate, they have the authority to act in the estate. You might see an odd off brother who decides he was the one who wants to sell the property and maybe take that money and run. So again, looking for the authority to, to bind and sell that property. Again, we can look, just quickly at the deeds, we can, if you think there's potential, liens, or, we can do a judgment and lien search. Again, it's going to cost a couple $100, but, a couple $100 spent, beforehand, jump on those problems. It's not a bad idea. We've discussed creating a product, that's maybe half of that price that kind of gives you some of that due diligence. And we can probably craft something like that. But, the more information you have, the better, clearly.
I'll give you an example, and I would say part of my solutions come from problems that I face day to day in this business, right? At a higher level. We have a deal. It's so funny. We literally just got a deal cleared to close after I was in Florida when we submitted it. So let's just call it it took 7 weeks. The guy shows negative 150,000 in income. He's 70 years old, buying an investment property. We finally got every day, the realtor, why can't you get us a commitment? We're like, why can't your buyer comply with what we're asking for? By the way, your buyer has no other options to get a loan. He loses money on paper. No one's giving him a loan. He's been denied by 10 other banks. We're doing the deal, but your buyer needs to comply. Mark, she broke our balls for 2.5 weeks straight, right? Guess what? We get the deal closed. You know what she says? Oh, there's a title issue that we missed where now we have to get the neighbor involved to sign off on the shed overlapping on someone else's property. And my question was, did you even contact the buyer's attorney or the title company once while you've been breaking our balls? We've been good to go. Now we're cleared to close. We hope you break their balls more than you break our balls by doing our job. But then when your buyer wasn't complying, right? So people forget, don't just break the bank's balls, get involved. Call the attorney, call a title company, make sure title is clear. And meanwhile, Mark, not to be funny, title's been in since August. So I said, did any of you people do your job while you've been hawking us to get the file clear to close? I don't understand. Did you just pick up the title report once the file was cleared to close? Because I'm confused here.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times, we will send the report to somebody and they're dealing with other issues.
They don't even review it.
Financing. They don't even look at it. And we actually, in our title reports on the cover page, we actually flag, what the issues are that have
As
to be
you should. Yeah,
some people you have to flip through the report to actually see those issues. We're saying these 5 things have to be dealt with. And you're right. Nobody, then come time, let's get ready to close. How about the 5 issues that we dealt with? I mean, listen, you're approaching it definitely from more of a, and I know you've been in residential finance and you've been in commercial, now, so more so in commercial is kind of where you make your, your bread and butter, so you're used to heavier problem resolving, but don't, think that there's not heavy problem resolving in residential, especially now, nowadays, where there's no deals that are that easy to, get through. And everybody on this call, we all make our money resolving problems. We don't make our money, opening up doors as a realtor or, quoting easy, mortgage rates that anybody can, look online and find what that are, where we provide our true value is in, when things go haywire, how we can navigate through it, and that's what I think everybody here, should focus on really being good at. And part of that is information. You can't solve a problem if you don't know what the problem is. So, due diligence, obviously, as you mentioned, get an appraisal up front. So then, you don't, you're not going to deal with issues of the property appraising or valuation of the property. You solidify more things, the more things, you go ahead and you do your due diligence for. So I definitely think there's value in there, especially if you're getting, if you're getting that signal that, there's going to be problems down the road, then take that, roll the dice, spend a couple $100. I mean, listen, you go for a steak dinner nowadays, the same cost as, an appraisal, same cost as a title report. And
You make a really good point there, right? So again, like I always look at it, and it's funny. I had this call with one of my, institutional lenders the other day. I'm like, I'm going to be honest with you. I know your business has slowed down. So a company I deal with literally went. This is God's honest truth that I sent business to. Went from $50 million a month, month over month over month over month, like this. Mark, they didn't even close $5 million combined between August and September.
mhm,
Right? That's a 95+% drop off, right? So what I said to them was, look, and you know me, I'm the least greedy person in the world. Like, what's fair is fair,
yep,
right? I said, but here's what's not fair. Your business is off 95%. You just told me the numbers that you've closed in the past 2 months. I go, I sent you $4 million in business just in September, right? Which means, again, based on what you're telling me, that could be 80% of your business next month, right? Plus or minus, right? I said, we should not be sharing our revenue the way we're currently sharing it. Like, I have everything to lose here, plus all the costs for the relationship, the dinner, the ball games, the handling, the paperwork. We should not be earning the same amount when I'm doing 95% of the work, right? And they were
Right.
very receptive to that. They were like, yeah, that actually makes really good sense. Like, let us know how you would like to work out the economics moving forward here, right? And I share that with you because there's always a cost to a relationship in business, right? In everything in life, right? So are you gonna take your clients out for that steak and drinks and happy hour and spend $400 or $500, right? Or are you going to go and say, hey, I'm going to lay out the $500 for a private appraisal? You're going to do it one way or another. Some people might say, depending on your price point, I'm going to do both. I'm going to go and get that opportunity, and then I'm actually going to lay out the other. Now I'm into the deal for $1,000. But if you sell $1 million property, you're going to make 30,000 plus or minus, right? So understand there's a cost for doing business, there's a cost for maintaining business, and there's a cost to close business. And if people can understand that concept, I always said, like, again, this is me personally, every deal I ever closed, I always allocated like $500 to like get the relationship, nurture the relationship, thank the referral with a dinner or a lunch or a ball game, right? So I allocate every deal I close, I allocate like a $500 mental bucket, if you will, of what it either costs or will cost moving forward. And then again, what to maintain that relationship looks like, right? And again, depending on what you earn per deal and everything else, obviously that number can adjust north or south. But I think $500 is a good number to use, to reinvest in your business, and that's got to be taken, very seriously in this market we're heading into.
right. And it also, of course, we're all in the relationship business, so you want to nurture the relationship, especially ones that blossom into deals, or or you have deal history with.
And to be clear, that money should be coming back as well, right? So like if you're giving people business and you're helping people, and a seller, I can have clients I've closed mortgages for on every side that have sent me presents, gifts, thank you cards, picture, like you name it, right? So understand it shouldn't be one-sided, it should be reciprocal.
Hey, Jeff, I have a question about Reverify. Can I ask you that?
Yeah, sure, of course.
Okay. I haven't used my referrals aspect of it yet. And actually I was finding out when we started the call, that. So, is that, I think that's one of the newer functions of it. Can you touch on that a little bit? Because that might be
it's actually great. I'm happy you brought that up. Let me see if I could actually pop up a screen and show everybody the functionality of it. I'm actually really,
actually.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited about this. I hope everyone else gets excited about it as well. Hold on one second while I try and log in here. I don't even know my stuff saved on this computer. Hold on. Or actually, Mark, do you want to actually are you able to log into your account so I can show everybody?
Yeah. You want me to share mine? Actually, I was
if you could. Yeah, if you're on it, that'd be great.
Uh-huh.
Let me just allow share screen. Okay, yeah, you can share screen.
Hold on.
Yeah, so again, like I literally, the kid that called me up with his wife earlier, I referred them directly to my contact at M&T Bank, and I referred my M&T Bank contact directly to them right on the platform, right? So like, guys, like go to reverify.com, sign up, you go to my referrals, and Mark, you could literally do this
Yeah.
immediately,
I was
right?
filling one out, right, before we started the meeting, because I'd never tried it yet. And I was introducing you to somebody.
Yep. So again, if you're referring somebody that's not already on the platform, when you
Mhm.
put their information in, you can hit send and invite, and it automatically invites them to join. If you don't want to invite them to the platform, you can just
Uh-huh.
hit send, right? So Mark, go ahead and hit send.
Okay, I didn't finish filling it out. I'll give you the phone. I got to put the rest of the phone number on
So
there.
I wouldn't even put the phone number in there for now for
Okay.
these purposes if you want. So
Okay.
you can just cross it out and then just go ahead and hit send.
Hit send, okay.
Yep. Go ahead, hit send.
Yep, did that.
It says enter an email address, but you did that, so I don't know why that's popping up.
Oh.
You have to put empoweringrealtor@gmail.com
I didn't-
or whatever it is.
Yeah, hold on. It's Gmail, yeah. Hit send.
Yep.
Oh, at.
Guys, you should all be utilizing this for everybody. It's a great way to show value. So now, Mark, you see how it says sent referrals? So I call this our level up program. At the
Okay.
end of the year, you could track how many referrals you sent, how many referrals you received, and
Yeah.
see what side of the fence you're on. And you can see who you sent business to that never sent you a referral back.
Mhm.
What I love most about this feature that we created is it gives like true visibility for tracking. Just so you guys all know, you can see my phone, but every time you get a referral, you get an automatic text message as well saying like you just got a referral. So it says you have received a reverify.com referral, check it out. Like it gives you instant real-time notification. So like you could just be walking around town, or at a bar or at dinner, at your kid's game. Oh man, it's got a brand new referral. It cost me no money. Who sent it? And now, hey Mark, thanks for the referral. Really appreciate it. And on my side, I'd be able to click that and see all the information, see the notes, and we can go back and forth. So it's just a really great way to stay in touch and like give a really really easy way to help people do more business. The whole point of Reverify is making people have the ability to have additional freedom and resources in life. So like rather than you having to figure out how to track people in your phone on Excel, like this is the easiest way to track referrals, right?
And
And again,
obviously, everybody who
you
signed up on Reverify, like there's I think there's at least 300 people that have accounts on there, right? There's probably 290 of them I don't know, so I could use that, as a
Sure.
basis, obviously, to connect to the people that are already in the Reverify world, as opposed to, if somebody from Staten Island says, I got to sell my home, and I say, oh, Joe's the guy, and I then send that referral through Reverify, introducing Joe to my potential home seller on Staten Island.
Yeah, really good point. So Mark, I don't know if you want to go ahead and just like navigate through this real quick, but if you go up to the member directory, right, we can
Yeah.
do a little Reverify tutorial here. It's totally fine.
Mhm.
Type Joe's right there on the first page. You want to just click Joe's picture right in the
Sure.
middle, right?
Yeah.
So you
Mhm.
go ahead and click that, and then he didn't put it in, but it'll show service area. It should show service areas right there. So it would say like Staten Island, New York, Brooklyn, New York, so on and so forth, right? But again, then if you go to the knowledge center up top on the top bar,
Mhm.
and this is where I think we really stand out and will continue to stand out. And I invite everybody to contribute. Just click that green button on top left. You can contribute your own videos and content to all of these topics, right? So Mark, you can go ahead and close that out. But if you scroll down to example, click title insurance where there's no videos, you could literally do a
Right.
video walkthrough of like reviewing a title report, or here's what to look for, or here's what title is, right? So it
Yep.
gives everybody a voice and it gives everybody the ability for no cost on your end to become an expert in the marketplace. So now when somebody goes and says, hey, who's this Joseph Rodriguez, guys? Oh, wow, he's got 5 videos in the Knowledge Center. Let me watch his videos, right?
Mhm.
So you could actually go to the Knowledge Center, see who's contributing. Like if you click on home insurance, for example, to the left, you could pull up, all right, who's contributed? Yeah, you know
Sure.
what? Sean's doing a great job. Sean posted 6 videos,
Right.
on home insurance, right? Well,
Yep.
to go to Reverify, I'm going to assume everyone's going to use Sean because he's giving value, right? So everyone has a free opportunity to highlight and feature yourself, your business, your knowledge directly on the platform. And I just think that the more people utilize this, the more it's going to grow and the more people are going to be attracted to doing business with you. Mark, I know you posted your event. If you want to go to
I
the
was gonna
event
say,
section.
Yeah.
you know,
a lot of
everyone
class.
has everyone has the ability to post their events. So like you can see all the past events that we've had featured on here. And then if you go up, you can see, the new event. We're doing a home buyer seminar coming up, October 1st, right? So again, if you guys have events, all you're doing is getting free exposure by featuring the event that you're hosting to the Re-Verify community. So I just think everybody, again, like, utilize what we've built out. We spent a lot of time, resources, money on all this. If you don't use it, you're not doing yourself a good service, because this is going to be growing rapidly, and it's free for you guys. It's free eyes and exposure. So leaderboard's cool. Obviously, we don't have to get into that. They can go on to that if they want to, but it shows who's doing the most amount of business, who has the most activity on Re-Verify on an annual and monthly basis. So if you want to go up, Mark can go up and click September, for example. So this is a cool way for everyone to compete, seeing who's using the platform, doing deals, and again, like, who wants to contribute to the community. So these are all people that everyone on this call should be networking with some capacity. It's people that take their business serious and want to, stand out and not make excuses why there's no deals in the marketplace.
Yeah, listen, even if you're slow right now with business, you know what? Go hop right onto Re-Verify. And, if you're a lender and you want to meet some real estate agents, there's probably, 200 agents you could reach out to on here, and you'd be busy all month with meetings, and vice versa. If you're, you're a real estate agent and you need resources, home inspection, obviously title, things like that. This is a good place, obviously to connect to people.
Sure.
And there's also, it also divided, so, you could search by, by service. So as I said, your home inspector, I don't know if there's a home inspector on here, but yeah, there's two of them. So, Rachel and Joe, if you need a home inspector, so come here for resources, too. Real estate attorney, a bunch of them, here. So, and again, I'm sure that other people on the platform have used these people, and that's how they became aware of it. Certainly Jeff, obviously, a lot of Jeff's contacts have come on here. So if they're verified by Jeff, just like everybody here on the call, that's like the gold stamp. So, so definitely try to utilize some of these resources, on the platform.
Yeah, I tell everybody, like, look, guys, like, your job is to form relationships, right? So if you focus on the right people that are doing deals, the right relationships, they're gonna give deals back to you. And
Look at that. There's no financial advisors on there. That some financial advisor could really benefit by.
I put that on there just to, like, be inclusive. I know they all have, like, different regulatory, like, risks that they have, but yeah, that's kind of unfortunately how that is. Again, if they want to join, let them. Whether they join or that doesn't impact, obviously the community. They'll get to their way one way or another. But again, like, if people are on the platform, guys, utilize them. And then what's really cool, once you guys actually have deals flowing on the platform and you use Re-Verify to make new relationships and invite them to the platform, you could use the entire transaction management system, which we didn't even go over. You can literally track every step of the process during a transaction, start to finish, from offer all the way through closing. See who's a part of the deal, so I'm really excited about the future of this. But more importantly, guys, like, just keep your head up. There's a lot of noise in the market right now. If you're thinking about giving up, you got to do a gut check and see. I don't fault anybody for giving up, because it's not easy, right? We all quit on different things in our lives at different times. Some things, I said to somebody earlier today, look, this business might not just be for you. And I meant it when I said that, so if you guys figure out if this business is for you, you figure out why you got into the business in the first place, hopefully it'll keep you, rocking and rolling as time goes on.
Look at that. Those are my favorite members.
Love it. Awesome,
Yeah.
guys. So that's all I have today. If you guys have any questions, always feel free to reach out. Highly recommend you guys, going back to the presentation, look to get creative and just look to, outwork people. Joe, again, you said it best. Outwork people. That's how you get ahead in this market. Mark, I'll see you tonight. Everyone else, you guys have a great week.
And Sherry, if you're around, you're welcome always to come too.
See you guys.
All right. Take